morning, Vivian.
Good morning.
I'm so happy to have a young journalist with me. Can you tell me who you are, what you do?
Okay, hi, my name is Vivian Chime. I'm a Nigerian journalist working with the Cable as a climate change reporter. And here at COP27, I am a climate tracker, climate justice fellow with Climate Tracker here.
How difficult is it for journalists coming from Africa to be able to have the means, the finance to come to the COP? And how did you manage?
There are a lot of African journalists and young people who would have loved to be here, but for lack of funding, they were not able to make it. For me, I was funded by Climate Tracker to come to COP27 this year. And I was
I think, the African Development Bank.
Yeah, I think they have some kind of partnership, yeah. So, but for me, I was the only Nigerian journalist who made it on the list. And also, I know there was another opportunity for journalists, and it was just one Nigerian journalist who made it to the list. So, it's not so easy getting financing or funding to come to COP27 for a lot of African journalists who would have loved to be at COP27. And for it being an African COP, people would have thought that a couple of more representation from Africa. I know I've spoken to a couple of activists here who told me that they found it difficult coming from their African countries to COP27, and a lot of people were denied. So I think it wasn't so easy for people to come, but I'm just among the lucky ones here.
Yeah. You are among the happy few. Now that you are here, which difference would you like to make? What would you like to achieve?
Okay, so for me, I have been reporting on climate change for close to 2 years now. I made it my specialty for like a while now, and I've seen a lot of things happening in my country as regards to climate change, and there is not so much, awareness in some of these rural communities about the issue of climate change. I visit some communities where women farmers have been affected by flooding. I visit communities where coal mining is affecting the health of people. I visited communities, where conflict and climate change is exacerbating conflict in Nigeria. So after looking at most of these issues and challenges that my people, my country, are facing as a result of climate change, I told myself that it would be nice to come for COP27 to really see what the world leaders are doing to address these challenges that are affecting people. Because actually the truth is that climate change impact doesn't happen here at COP27. What happens here is basically the deliberations, negotiations, but the people who are on the front lines of climate change need to get the needed impact and action that is needed for them to survive. So that is why, as a journalist, I told myself, you can't keep doing just on the ground work. You also need to be there to tell their stories. And so that was why before I started coming to COP27, I went to rural communities. I spoke to people who have been impacted. I asked them, as I'm going to COP27, I would want to take your voices with me. What do you want world leaders to do for you?
What did they say in particular?
Some of the women I spoke to, some of them said, sometimes even when they hear that finance has been released for them, it doesn't get to them. Some of their local leaders, sometimes they siphon the money and then it doesn't get to them. So they said, please, world leaders should prioritize their challenges, their issues as women, and come to them directly when they want to give anything to them. So some of these communities are basically asking that the right thing needs to be done for them to be able to adapt.
Do you feel that you were heard?
Here at COP27?
Yes, at COP27.
So far, so good. There's been a couple of disappointments here and there from some of the voices that I've spoken to.
What kind of disappointment?
There was this recent report that has been circulating that there are over 600 fossil fuel lobbies at COP27 this year, and people are wondering, what exactly are we here to address? Are we here to address climate change, or do we want to advance more in oil and gas exploration? So people are worried, and then the financial commitments are not coming as expected, and people are saying that it's just the lack of political will, because world leaders don't really want to tackle the impacts of climate change, because some of them are not being affected. And we saw what happened with provision of financing when the Russia-Ukraine war happened. There was so much funding going to Ukraine. Within 8 months, there was over $100 billion to Ukraine. And then Global South are saying, we've been asking for this same amount for like the past how many years, and nothing has come through.
So for you, it's a question of political will?
Yes, for me, it's a question of political will. If they really want to do something, they will definitely do something.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much.